Today, let's start our second chapter, Formulas and Functions in MS Excel 2010. MS Excel 2010 is a spreadsheet software which is used for calculations, presentation and analysis of numerical data. And this MS Excel is included in MS Office. So first let's check how we can start MS Excel. For that, click on the Start button, go to All Programs. Here we can see Microsoft Office. Click on Microsoft Office, then Microsoft Office Excel. This is how we can start Microsoft Excel. The MS Excel consists of various cells. Here we can see each of these boxes are known as cells. A cell is an intersection of a row and a column. Here we can see lot of columns and rows are here. Each of the columns are headed by alphabets and each of the rows are headed by numbers. So the intersection of each row and column is known as a cell. Okay, when we click on a particular cell, it will be the intersection of each column and row. And here there is a term called cell address, or it is known as cell reference. Cell address or cell reference is an alphanumeric value, which means the column heading followed by the row heading. When I click on a cell, here we can see a name box. Okay, this is known as a name box. The name box consists of the cell address, which is the column heading followed by the row heading. When I click on this cell, the column heading is C and the row heading is 4. So the cell address of this particular cell is known as C4, that we can see in the name box. Okay, the cell address will be displayed on the name box. When I click on this cell, the cell address we can see here, that is K8. Always we should write the column heading first, then only the row heading, which means first we should write the alphabet, then only the number. If we are reading the cell address as 4D, that is wrong. Always refer the cell address as the alphanumeric value, which means alphabet first, then only the numeric value. Okay, whenever we are clicking on a cell, the cell address will be highlighted. We can see in a brown color, we can see the cell address. It is D3. The same we can see in the name box also. So a cell addresses ranges from A1 to XFD 10,48,576, which means the MS Excel 2010 consists of 10,48,576 rows and XFD columns. Okay, it starts from A to XFD. That is the range of columns in a Excel, and the range of row from 1 to 10,48,576. That much columns consist in a MS Excel. The Excel is also known as spreadsheet. Okay, the spreadsheet consists of 3 sheets. On the right corner we can see sheet 1, sheet 2 and sheet 3. By default, when we open a workbook means the same Excel. When we open a spreadsheet or workbook, we can see 3 sheets. By default, there will be 3 sheets. If we need to add additional sheet, we can click on the option. We can see here one option called new sheet. When we click on that one, we can add new sheet to our workbook. So by default, there will be 3 sheets in a workbook or spreadsheet. Do you know how we can recognize the active cell? For an active cell, there will be a black thick border like this. Okay, whenever we are clicking on a cell, that will be the active cell. We can type the data and numerical value in the active cell only. Okay, now all these cells are inactive cells. Only this H4 is the active cell. Okay, whenever we are clicking the cell, that time only the cell will become active. So for an active cell, we can see a black thick border. As I told you, a cell address is the intersection of row and column where the cell is located. Mainly there are three types of cell addresses: relative cell address, absolute cell address, and mixed cell address. First, let's discuss what is relative cell address. Relative cell address is one where the column label and row number are simply written side by side for a cell address, which means once written the column address followed by a row address, that is known as relative cell address. Usually we all are using relative cell address. Okay, when I click on this particular cell, the relative cell address is C4. Okay, so usually we all are using relative cell address. The column heading followed by the row heading is known as relative cell address. And our second cell address is absolute cell address. Absolute cell address is one where both the row number and column label are preceded by a dollar sign. Okay, when we are using a dollar sign just before both column heading and row heading, that is known as absolute cell address. For example, if we are clicking on this particular cell, the relative cell address is F4. If we are reading the cell address as $F$4, that is known as the absolute cell address. Okay, if I am clicking on this particular cell, the relative cell address is C8 and the absolute cell address of this cell is called $C$8. The row heading and column heading should be preceded by a dollar sign, that is known as absolute cell address. And our third type of cell address is called mixed cell address. Mixed cell address is one where either the column label or the row number is written as an absolute address and the other is written as a relative address. Which means, suppose I am clicking on this particular cell and the relative cell address is E4, the normal one, that is relative cell address. And the absolute cell address of particular cell is $E$4. And mixed cell address means we can use the dollar sign either before the column heading or before the row heading, which means $E4 or E$4. Only one dollar sign we will use. It will be either before the column heading or row heading. So that is known as mixed cell address. Let's check one more example. Suppose I am clicking on this cell. The relative address of this particular cell is M10 and the absolute address of this cell is known as $M$10, which means we have to use dollar symbol just before both column heading and row heading. And the mixed cell address of this particular cell is either $M10 or $M$10. Only one dollar sign we have to use, either before the column heading or before the row heading. So these are three types of cell addresses. Our next topic is calculations in Excel. The Excel uses formulas or functions to do the calculation. We can use either formulas or the functions for doing various calculations in MS Excel. We can perform various calculations using Excel, such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, average and percentage. These all things we can perform either by using the formulas or functions. So first let's check how to use the formulas. Here let's discuss with an example. We can see a mark list here. Okay, 4 students' name, their mark in English, Maths and Hindi. We have to find out the total and average of each student. So we can do the calculation with the help of formulas. Okay, so first let's find out the total of each student's 3 subject marks. So whenever we are doing a calculation, first we should put a equal to sign. Okay, here we need to find out the total of Ram. Okay, so he got 22 mark in English, 56 in Maths and 33 in Hindi. So after giving an equal to sign, we should give 22. After 22, give plus. then 56 plus 33. After giving these numbers, we can press enter button. Then we will get the total of these 3 marks. Okay, this is the total of these 3 marks. Suppose we need to change the mark of one subject. Suppose I am changing the 56 to 33. Then when we click here, the marks will never change automatically. Okay, then we have to do the calculation once more. Okay, for solving this problem, we can use the cell address for adding these marks together. I will show you how. Let me remove this mark from here because now this is wrong. Whenever we are adding 22, 33 and 33 together, we will never get 111. So let me remove this one first, and now I am going to show you how to find out the total with the help of cell address. For that, first we have to give equal to sign. Whenever we are performing a calculation, we should give equal to sign first. Then only the result will be get there. Okay. After that, the cell address of this particular cell is known as D6. Okay, that you can see here. The intersection of column and row is D6. So we have to just click here. Okay. After that, press on the plus button. Now let's move to the second mark, which is 33. So instead of 33, we can plus the cell address. Okay, we can just press the cell address, which is E6. So instead of typing E6, we just want to click on the cell. Then the cell address will automatically come here. After clicking on this cell, we have to press plus again. After that, click on the third cell. Then we will get the cell address automatically. Now we got the cell address of these 3 cells. Okay. In between these 3 cell address, we have to give plus. Okay, then only we will get the total. After giving these 3 cell addresses, press on the enter button. Now we got the result. This is 88. Suppose we want to change the number again. Now let's check whether it will work perfectly or not. Let me change the mark of English. Okay, I am going to change the mark of English from 22 to 55. Okay, after changing the mark, I am just clicking here. Now we can see the changes. Okay, so if we are making any changes in these all marks, it will be automatically come here. Okay, that is the difference between cell address and directly using the numbers. If we are directly adding the numbers means if we make any changes in these numbers, that will not reflect here. If we are using the cell address, whatever changes we are making here, that will automatically come here. Okay, once again I will show you. First give an equal to sign, then press on the first cell address, click on plus, then the second cell address, click on plus, then the third cell address. After the last cell address, we have to press on the enter button. Then only we will get the result. Okay. So, this is how we can find out the total. Okay. So, this is the use of cell address. With the help of cell address, we can find out the total of each student. And whatever changes we are making here, that will automatically reflect here. Now let's discuss how to copy these formulas. The Excel allows us to copy the formula also. So we don't want to insert the formulas for each student separately. Here we are finding out the total for each student separately. Instead of that, we can copy the formula for each student. So it will be easy for calculating the values. So I will show you. Here we have find out the total of 2 students and 2 more remains here. So instead of doing the calculations again and again, we can copy the formula from these cells and we can paste it here. I will show you how. Here we have already found the result of these students' marks. So first what we have to do, first click on this cell and go to the home tab. Click on the option copy. Then click on the next cell where we need to find out the total. And again go to home tab and click on the option paste. Then the total of 19, 21 and 66 will come automatically here. Okay, this is what is known as copying the formula. Okay, suppose we need to copy here also, just click here. We have to click on copy only one time and we can click paste for several times. Okay, we have already copied the formula from here. Then select the next cell and click on the option paste. Okay, so this is the total of 88, 34 and 62. So this is known as copying a formula. Once we have used the formula, we can copy it to another cells also. So this is how we can use formulas in MS Excel. So in the next class, we will discuss about functions in Excel.